Welcome to Epsilon 2 Sports, and in this video I'm going to be doing my Survivor Series WarGames predictions. But before I get started with that, I'll do a quick recap of what happened on Raw. Since once I do my podcast, I probably won't mention what happened on Raw, since that'll be right after Survivor Series WarGames goes off. But it started off, Gunther, he was in the ring having an interview with Jackie Redmond. Then Damian Priest came out there. And it's been going how it's been going the last few weeks. Gunther, he threw the first punch this time, and he had the advantage. Then, as he's messing up the table and stuff, that allows Priest to recover. Then Priest hits the Razor's edge to Gunther through the table. So the Gunther looks weak once again. Don't like what they're doing with Gunther right now. He's been a good champion, but him looking weak in this feud against Damian Priest just doesn't make sense. When Gunther's the champion and Priest is the one chasing after the championship, obviously no, Gunther's going to retain, but they could have did a better job building this up and making Gunther look stronger than what he's looked so far. The Creed brothers had a match against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, and I was so glad the Creed brothers were able to win this match. It was solid. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but they needed this win no matter how they got it. Even Chad Gable interfering, as long as the Creed brothers got the win. Because what's the point of you putting American Made together if they've consistently been losing? So this was a win that they needed. Bron Breakker and Littlewood Kaiser had their match. It was a normal one-on-one match, not for the title or anything. But then when Sheamus came in, he interfered in the match, and it was starting to become a solid match. Then Sheamus interfered. Wasn't surprised, because Littlewood Kaiser did the same thing to Sheamus and Bron Breakker last week. So he came down the ring to interfere in the match. Wasn't surprised. Bron Breakker, he was heated, because it's like, this happened because this has been happening since he's been on the main roster. Other people getting involved in his matches, and he hates when that happens. So then all three guys start brawling. Then Adam Pearce has to come out there. He was like, since everybody wants to fight, it's going to be a triple threat match at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental Championship. Then Sheamus gets back on the attack as soon as that's announced. So they all going at it for the next few minutes or so. Judgment Day defended their tag team titles against the War Raiders, and this was a fun match. Then Dominic got involved, and the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough ended up retaining the Raw tag team titles. Don't like that decision. Felt like it was time for them to move on from them as the tag champions, which the War Raiders would have got the titles, so we can see new things and see new champions and see it be defended consistently. This is only the Judgment Day's second defense in 154 days as champions, and that's absurd. That's worse than Logan Paul, and he was a part-time champion. So I'm just tired of Judgment Day with titles. They also teased Judgment Day potentially breaking up. They'll tease it over the last few weeks. Maybe Dominic and Carlito venture off on their own. Maybe they're the ones to take the tag team titles off of Finn and JD. But if they do pull the trigger and do that, just whoever wins these titles next, they need to be defended more, no matter who takes it off of Judgment Day. A video package was shown for the New Day as their 10-year anniversary. It's going to be next week. They had a match against Alpha Academy. Kofi Kingston was supposed to start the match, but then Woods tagged himself in. Then Woods and Kofi not on the same page. Alpha Academy is able to take advantage of it, and Alpha Academy gets the win. And the match was like a minute and two. It was definitely less than 2 minutes, and Xavier Woods ended up taking the pin to Akira Tozawa. So the Alpha Academy got the win. Then Kofi, he's frustrated. Woods, he's frustrated. They lost another match. Xavier Woods wanted to run this play. Kofi wanted to run a different play. Now it's all jumbled up. They got into a heated argument backstage, and Kofi was saying the reason that Woods hadn't become a singles champion like him and Big E is because he wasn't good enough. And Woods mentioned how he never got to that level of being world champion without Woods and all the stuff that he had to sacrifice for Kofi to get to that point. So it was a very heated and intense promo. I mean, both of them made good points, and both of them will have a valid reason to turn next week when they do the anniversary, because the New Day, they've been together 10 years. I don't think they need to split up. I feel like that's pointless to split up tag teams all the time because it's so consistent. Like, you just had them go on another heel run together. Like, when New Day first started, they were a heel tag team. But they'll likely split up next week. Then, the Babyfaces Women's WarGames team, they're trying to figure out who the fifth member is going to be. Bayley, Io Sky wanted Kairi Sane. Bianca was like, that's too much damage control. Naomi wanted Bayley. Bianca had a problem with that. Still don't get how Bianca is perfectly fine with Io Sky being on her team, but has a major problem when Bayley names gets mentioned. But Bayley, we'll get to Bayley later, but then Bianca had a match against Nia Jax. It was a solid match. It was the advantage match to see what team had an advantage going into WarGames. And then it looks like Bianca was going to lose. She was out of finna get counted out. She ended up getting back in the ring, but Bayley interfered when the ref's back was turned, checking on Bianca, trying to see if she was able to get in the ring. And Nia Jax was on the top rope. Bayley made her fall. Then Bianca was able to get in the ring and pin her, and they won. And now the Women's WarGames team have the advantage going into the WarGames match, the Babyface team. And yeah, then Bianca and Bayley kind of looked at each other like some type of approval from Bianca to Bayley, and Bayley is likely going to be the fifth member. It wouldn't make sense for it to be anybody else, and you could argue that Bayley should have been in it before Io was, because Io and Liv Morgan are having a match at some point, and that's the only reason she's in it, but Bayley would have made more sense. And that's how the show ended. And then a few things were announced for Smackdown. Jey Uso and Jacob Fatu are wrestling in the advantage match for the men's WarGames match. I expect Jacob Fatu to win. I don't see a way that he loses to Jey Uso, even though he's one of the hottest wrestlers right now. There's no way you have Jacob Fatu lose that match. CM Punk and Roman Reigns are going to sit down and have a talk on SmackDown. Interested to see, number one, how long it'll be and how it'll go, because Paul Heyman, he came through and got them a fifth member, so it's going to be interesting to see what they talk about. Can they establish some trust within that? And yeah, that's as much as I know for SmackDown. Don't know which out of the Women's United States Championship tournament is going to continue. Don't know who is replacing Jade Cargill in the match that she's supposed to have, but I know that's going to be the third match at a Women's U.S. title tournament. Adam Pearce also, before the show, apparently announced that the women will have an IC title for Raw, so it'll be interesting to see who's in that tournament and see who's able to win. But yeah, that's it for the recap of Raw and a little preview of what's going to happen on SmackDown from what we know. And now I can get into my Survivor Series predictions. I'll start with the Women's WarGames match. You got the team of Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Bianca Belair, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bayley. Now looking at this on paper, it looks like it's hard to say who should win, because you got the babyface team that has Bianca and Rhea, but I feel like this team, it's going to be hard to establish trust with the way, because really Bianca and Naomi are the only ones that can fully trust each other, and I guess Naomi, she fully trusts Bayley, but you have tension with Io Sky and Bayley, you got tension with Bianca Belair and Damage Control with them. Rhea Ripley and Bianca, they kind of got into it on Raw with the way that Rhea was talking. As long as she gets her hands on Liv, she's fine. So it's like Naomi is going to be the one trying to play peacekeeper. Still don't know who attacked Jade. So it's like this team has a lot of flaws around it. Even with the heel team, despite Nia and Liv going at it not too long ago, it makes Nia, Tiffany, and Candice, they're all on the same page. Then Liv and Raquel, they're on the same page. So it won't be hard for them to come together. So I think the heel team of Team Nia, I think they're going to win. And they have the two women's world champions. So if they were to lose, that'd be crazy. Shinsuke Nakamura gets a shot at the United States Championship against LA Knight. This is the match I'm most unsure about, because since Shinsuke's came back, the promos have been great. Everything they've been doing with him has been great. LA Knight, his reign's been great. he's had great matches. And I don't know if this is where they ended, because especially when you bring Shinsuke back and have him doing all this, just don't see a way that Shinsuke will lose this match. So I'm going with Shinsuke here, but I'm really unsure about this match, because I could see either guy winning. I expect it to be a great match, but if Shinsuke does lose, I don't know where he goes from here unless they continue to feud and have a few more matches. But I got Shinsuke winning. Bron Breakker is defending his IC title against Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus. Gunther told Ludwig Kaiser to go make a name for himself, and he's did that. He's inserted himself into the IC title picture. He's getting a pay-per-view match, and I don't know the last time Ludwig Kaiser was on a pay-per-view. Maybe it was that Donnybrook match with Imperium and the Brawling Brutes, and that was a while ago. But yeah, Ludwig Kaiser getting back on the pay-per-view. It's good to see the IC title getting defended on a pay-per-view again. Both men's mid-card titles are being defended on this pay-per-view, so that's great. It's going to be a fun triple threat match. Sheamus still yet to win the IC title. Don't know when he will do it, if he even does end up getting it. But I expect Bron Breakker to retain his title, and he'll move on from these two, because he's had the one on, even though the matches weren't finished, the match with Sheamus is already over, and the match with Kaiser is already over. Now that you're having the triple threat match, he get the win here, then you can move on and do other things with him as the IC champion. Damian Priest competing for the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. So that's gonna be a fun one. The first match was pretty good. I think this one will be a good match too. Gunther's gonna retain. Not sure how he's gonna do it with the way they've built up Priest, making him look more dominant than the champion is. But I fully expect Gunther to walk out of here with the win and still World Heavyweight Champion. Then the men's WarGames match, which is gonna be the main event. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk. So the OG Bloodline with the addition of CM Punk against Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, the new Bloodline, with the addition of Bronson Reed. Even though CM Punk came back, I got the new Bloodline winning this match. It's just, they look so dominant. Just shout out to Solo. His promos have been really good. He's been great. And the stuff that he's doing with the new Bloodline, it's been fun. The tag title reign that the Tongans went on wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It was okay. But I got the new Bloodline winning. Now, I don't know who takes the pin here, and I could very well see the OG Bloodline and Punk winning too. But with the addition of Bronson Reed, they're building him up. I think Bronson Reed, he's the one taking home the win for the new Bloodline. Now, who he pins, I don't know. Maybe because the last time Jimmy took a pin, he ended up out the Bloodline. So don't know if he's the best guy to take a pin here. Don't see Solo pinning Roman again. And Solo and Roman got to have a match for the Ula Fala again. But the more I talk about it, the more I think through it, it makes this decision even tougher. I'm sticking with the new Bloodline to win it. But this is a match that's like the Shinsuke one, where I'm very unsure of. I'm trying to see predicting who's going to win this match, who's going to take the pin, what's going to happen. It's been rumors of Seth Rollins interference since he hates Punk and Bronson Reed. But that'd be really pointless, because he don't want to be involved in the Bloodline stuff. He shouldn't get involved in this match, even though they went. Because it's not like they went out to go get CM Punk. Paul Heyman brought him back. So it really wouldn't make sense to me if he was to get involved, because he said he don't want to be involved in the Bloodline stuff. So no matter if he takes out Punk or takes out Bronson Reed, that gives both Bloodline groups a reason to go after him, which would be really dumb. Rumors of The Rock coming in, that's very well a possibility. It's just, we don't know what. Ever since Bad Blood, when he came back, hasn't showed up or anything, hasn't really been mentioned. But yeah, I got the new Bloodline winning, and I'm excited for Survivor Series WarGames. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your predictions for this pay-per-view. Peace.